So every great product out there deserves to be seen, right? But how do you actually go from having this brilliant idea to being the brand that everyone is talking about? Well, today, we're going to build that blueprint for your very first ad campaign. We're talking turning strategy into actual sales.
I mean, think about it. You've poured your heart and soul into making something incredible. But then you hit that wall, right? That huge question. How in the world do you get people to actually notice? Look, it's a classic challenge. And trust me, the solution isn't just about shouting the loudest. It's about being smart, about having a structured approach. And that right there is exactly what a well-planned ad campaign brings to the table.
Okay, so before we dive into the how-to, let's nail down the why. I mean, what are the big picture goals that a really great campaign can unlock for your business? Let's break it down.
First up, and this is the big one, awareness. It's really about planting your flag in the ground. Just getting your brand on people's radar. Because let's be honest, if they don't even know you exist, there's no way they're going to buy from you. Simple as that.
But hey, awareness is really just the first step. The next goal is to take all that attention and turn it into genuine interest. This is what we call generating leads. It's about finding those people who kind of raise their hand and say, okay, I'm intrigued, tell me more.
And that, of course, brings us to the real engine of pretty much any business, driving sales. This is the bottom line, right? It's the final piece of the puzzle, turning that interest from your leads into cold, hard revenue. See how that works? It's like a funnel. Awareness leads to interest, and that interest is what fuels sales. So now that we've totally locked down the why, let's get clear on exactly what a campaign even is.
So, when we throw around the term ad campaign, what are we actually talking about? Let's just look at the straight-up definition.
Okay, so it's a coordinated series of advertisements over a specific period of time. The keywords here are everything. Coordinated series means it's not just a bunch of random ads thrown at a wall. It's a unified effort, a single message. And specific period, that means it has a start and end date, which gives it focus, gives it momentum.
And of course, this coordinated message has to live somewhere, right? It needs to show up in the right places. We're talking old school stuff like TV, radio, billboards, but more and more it's happening online, through digital ads and all over the social media platforms where your audience is already hanging out. All right, so that covers the what and the why. Now let's get to the good stuff, the part you've been waiting for, the step-by-step plan for how you can actually build one of these things yourself.
This is where the theory turns into action, people. We're going to walk through a super clear, repeatable blueprint. Seriously, think of this as your personal roadmap, guiding you from that first little idea all the way to a successful launch.
And here it is, the whole map laid out for you. It all starts with strategy, right? Defining your goals, doing your research. Then you get into the fun, creative part, developing your message and all your content. And finally, it's all about execution, picking your channels and hitting that launch button. Seeing it all laid out like this kind of makes it feel a lot less intimidating, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and unpack the logic behind each and every one of these steps. Step 1 is all about focus. You've got to ask yourself, what does success actually look like for us? Are we trying to build awareness, generate leads, or just plain drive sales? You have to pick one main goal, because believe me, that one decision is going to shape every other choice you make down the line.
Okay, now it's time for some intelligence gathering. Step 2, research. This is where you put on your detective hat. Who exactly are you trying to talk to? What do they really care about? And hey, what's the competition up to? You just can't hit a target you can't see.
So once you know your audience inside and out, then you can develop your core message. And listen, this isn't just a boring list of features. No way. It's that one single compelling story that connects directly with the needs and wants you found during all that research. Okay. So where are you going to tell this awesome story? Step 4 is all about picking your channels. And this is where that research pays off big time. Don't just guess. Go where your audience already is. If they're all over social media, that's where you need to be. If they're listening to a certain podcast, you meet them right there. It's all about precision, not just making a bunch of noise.
And here's where your whole strategy really comes to life, creating the actual ads. This is where you combine cool visuals with powerful words. But the most important part, and I can't stress this enough, is a crystal clear call to action. You have to ask yourself, what is the one thing I want someone to do after they see this ad?
So you've done all the planning, the research, the creative stuff. It is finally time to launch. But get this final step, it's really just the beginning of a whole new, super dynamic phase.
The key here is to launch, monitor, and make adjustments. This is crucial.
An ad campaign is not a set it and forget it kind of deal. Think of it more like a living, breathing thing. You launch it, you obsessively watch the data, and then you make smart tweaks to make it perform even better. And that right there, that constant tweaking and optimizing, that's where all your careful planning really, truly pays off.
Because when you follow this blueprint, you're not just throwing money at ads and hoping for the best. You're making a direct investment in actual results. We're talking about driving more revenue, building a solid foundation for sustainable growth, and creating a much stronger, more recognized brand out there.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that building a successful campaign isn't some kind of magic. It's a process. It's a blueprint that anyone can follow. And now you have that blueprint. So really, the only question left to ask is, what story are you going to tell?